I asked my teenage relative if he would ever consider wearing such a watch, and his response was, "Sure, why am I even asking? You can't always read the time, but it looks cool. Did this style creep on us slowly and now becoming mainstream, or is it mainstream already and I just need to keep up with the times? Well, let's find out." Hello and welcome to the channel! Before we jump into the meat and potatoes of this video, so to speak, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss anything. I believe around August of 2013, CIGA Design watch company came into existence, and as part of celebrating their anniversary, they asked me to do a review of this timepiece, which also happened to be a winner of German Design Award in 2020, adding to CIGA Design commendable collection of industry awards and prizes. There is also a new CIGA Design model in the works, and it might be already available by the time this video is released, so do check their online store. All the links, of course, will be in the description of this video. Design. Saying that this is a Richard Mille homage is probably like saying that all supercars look the same. Well, they kind of do, but that's not the point. Yes, like Richard Mille, it is square, yes, it is skeletonized, and yes, like Richard Mille, it is kind of challenging to read the time, and yet CIGA Design managed to differentiate this watch enough to win a design award 3 years ago, which meant that they were onto something already back then, developing their own design language and style. And possibly taking example from the best in business, like Apple, with its crazy attention to product presentation detail, CIGA Design lets us know that we are in for a treat the minute we take out this quite unique and at the same time suspiciously flat package that contains this watch. We have pretty much all the information here. Okay, not quite, but it is very useful, and at a glance we get to know a lot about this watch, and not to forget a set of very user-friendly instructions to get you started. Dimensions. Well, as the saying goes, trust but verify, so let me get my tools. And the case width, as advertised, is 40.8mm. Case height is 12.5mm, actually nice and slim. Lug-to-lug distance is 48mm. Now, this is quite compact and is probably the reason why this somewhat imposing watch is so comfortable on the wrist. Lug width is 22mm, and the full length of the included silicone strap should cover up to 8¼ or 21cm wrist in circumference. And on the same silicone strap, this watch weighs 93 grams. I will of course include wrist shots on my about 7-inch wrist and on a 6¼ wrist later in this video. Case on this Z-series watch comes in two flavors, stainless steel or titanium. We have a stainless steel version here. CIGA Design applied a few different finishes. We have longitudinal satin-like brushing on top of the case and sort of bead-blasted flanks. The corners and basically all the transitions have a high polish finish, combined with the branding on the side, which is also done using a combination of sort of bead-blasting and high polish surfaces. We get an interesting interplay of different facets and finishes. We also have tastefully sculpted crown guards, which are also finished in a similar style as the rest of the case. The side crown does look a bit smaller than usual, but it is very easy to engage. Turning the case around, and apart from the thin frame secured by 4 screws, the rest of the case is dominated by the exhibition window. The case back is flat, so according to laws of fitting watch on the wrist science, I think I just invented a new science, it is not an ideal shape. However, somehow, most likely because of that really short lug-to-lug distance or because of the overall case design, it actually works pretty well. The case is very comfortable on the wrist, looking like a tiny alien spacecraft that decided to park there for a day. Now, I guess because of the push-pull crown, that spacecraft has only 30 meters of water resistance and not exactly suitable for swimming, so something to keep in mind. Crystal. The top of this timepiece is covered by a nicely crafted curved piece of sapphire crystal, which pretty much seamlessly integrates with the case. The exhibition back case is made out of glass though, so it is not a sapphire sandwich, just in case if you're wondering. Now, in regards to anti-reflective coating, there is no mention of it in product specification, so most likely there is none, but not to worry. As I pointed out earlier, legibility is not the reason to buy this watch. Dial. Well, this section will be pretty brief, because frankly speaking, there isn't much dial to speak of. Okay, we do have minute chaptering and hour markers on the perimeter, and of course 3 hands, SWAT-styled minute and hour hands with red accents, and needle second hand also in bright red color, which is nice, and this splash of red does actually help legibility quite a bit. There is also lume on hands, but it is definitely not the strongest point of this dial, and that's about it. The rest is the skeletonized movement, which we will look at next. Movement. Well, this nicely skeletonized movement is what we will be mostly seeing when looking at this watch, either from the front or from the back. So we have SEA-gull ST2553 AAA movement here, where AAA refers to SEA-gull's most refined line of movements. It is an automatic mechanical movement, it is hackable, that is, the second hand will stop when we adjust the time, it beats at 21,600 vibrations per hour, and it has about 41 hours of power reserve. SEA-gull of course produces about a quarter of all the movements manufactured in the world yearly, so we are in the good hands here. The skeletonization is done very well, we can see a lot of the movement and enjoy the intricate inner workings and interactions of gears and levers that are usually hidden from our side. We have a decent finish on the rotor, even some circular brushing or cote de Genève around the center. The rest of the movement has a somewhat utilitarian matte finish, nothing fancy, but it works well in a contrast with the high polished gears, so overall it looks quite interesting and well put together. Bracelet. CIGA Design supplies this watch with 2 strap options. Both come with quick releases, so they can be swapped around in seconds. The leather one, which is not exactly my favorite, I did try it for the sake of this review, so here it is on this watch. However, I'm more in favor of this silicone strap. It is very comfortable and it works really well with the overall aesthetics of this watch. Here it is on my about 7-inch wrist, and we can see that these compact like-to-like dimensions make this watch work on a 6¼ wrist as well. Okay, the verdict. Right, so before I start listing all my complaints, or rather a complaint about this watch, I guess I should point out that this timepiece, while still boasting its own design, actually does resemble Richard Mille watches, which cost about 1,000 times more. This Z-series CIGA Design cost between $280 and $400 based on the case material, stainless steel or titanium, so arguably we still get that great trendy Richard Mille look for a fraction of the price. And in terms of any gripes, well, as I mentioned already a few times, legibility is not this watch's strongest suit, but then it doesn't seem to deter the ever-growing crowd of fans of this style from buying these watches. On the positive side, of course, we get a well-designed and crafted timepiece which is creatively presented and is also a holder of a prestigious German design award. And to answer my initial question, yes, this style of watches is slowly but surely gaining in popularity. What are your thoughts? Please do let us know in the comments, and if you find this review helpful, do hit that like button and of course subscribe if you haven't already done so. As always, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.